Alright guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again with another DVD Blu-ray update. Got a bunch of them to show you today, so let's get started with them. The first one up I got from Best Buy. It was on sale for $19.99 and that was Ted, the unrated version. I've been wanting to watch this one. I didn't get it on the day it came out. I think I got it like a week after. And at my Blockbuster, everyone that was renting it, I'm like, how was it? They're like, it's awesome, it's funny. People in the comments of my videos, Brendan, you should get it, it's awesome, it's funny. So I picked it up and I got it. Was it as awesome and as funny as people hyped it up to be? No, but I did really enjoy this one. It's pretty much about a kid that really has no friends, and he pretty much keeps to himself, and he has this teddy bear, and one night he makes a wish that his teddy bear will come alive, and he does. And but then the thing is, the bear stays alive, and the kid grows up, and so does the bear. It becomes like a really raunchy comedy. Seth MacFarlane's the writer-director of it, and he's also the voice of Ted. It's really fun. It has a lot of funny moments in it, but I wouldn't say it's the best comedy out there. It's really worth watching and worth a rent if you're into raunchy comedies like I am. There's a couple of moments like with the bear going in for like a job interview, and the stuff that he says to the person that he's getting the interview from. It's really funny. Like a lot of one-liners, a lot of quick little funny things. And if you guys like the Flash, or Flash Gordon actually, sorry, the movie Flash Gordon, you'll dig this one. But Ted, it's worth a watch. It's like to me like a 7 out of 10. Next one up here right here is from Warner Brothers, and that's Trouble with the Curve, starring Clint Eastwood and John Goodman, Justin Timberlake. It's pretty much about Clint Eastwood. He's a sports scout, a baseball scout, and he's been doing it for like as long as he's been around, and he's getting old, and little things are starting to happen to him. Like he's becoming forgetful. Like he's having trouble seeing, and it's just him having trouble trying to cope with old age, and how the people that are doing scouting now are doing it, the new ways by using computers and stats and this, and he's doing it the old way by actually watching and hearing the sounds and watching the players play the game, seeing if they're actually really good or not. And it's just him, trying to cope with what happens to people when they get older, and sometimes, they lose certain things. And in the movie, his daughter is like a successful lawyer, so it's pretty much his daughter comes down, leaves her job for a while, comes down to take care of him and see how he's doing and see how she can help him at all. And that's pretty much the story of the movie. I don't want to ruin anything else because there's not really a whole hell of a lot going on in the movie. It's pretty much a character piece. It's not like the best movie ever made, but if you're going in to watch this movie, you're pretty much watching it for the acting, from all the people in here. You get Amy Adams, you got Justin Timberlake, which I think he does a pretty good job acting in movies. From music to acting, I think he does a pretty good job. So it's pretty much about that. But if you're like watching it, you're pretty much watching it for the acting. Like the story is kind of like, but it's really worth watching. It's Trouble with the Curve. Next up right here is from Sony, and this is Resident Evil Retribution. I believe this is the 5th one in the Resident Evil series. I've only seen like the 1st and 3rd one. I believe I own the 1st one, and I forgot what other one I own now, but they all kind of jumbled together for me. I wasn't really a big fan of the video game because I was never really a gamer. But if you're into like really like computerized and awesome like visuals and action sequences, this is the movie for you. But if you're looking for like story, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Because if you probably watched all the movies, you probably understand what's going on a little bit more. But just even watching this is there's really not much going on. It's pretty much, the Umbrella Corporation captures Mila Jovovich, and she's pretty much trying to stop the virus from spreading around, the T virus or whatever it's called, and then it's just pretty much her kicking butt and trying to save the day kind of thing. And of course Michelle Rodriguez is in this. I believe she was in the 1st one also. And Michelle Rodriguez is cool. I always liked her from the first movie I saw her in, which was Girl Fight, or Fast and the Furious, or one of those ones. I think it was Girl Fight, one of those like boxing movies that she was in. But if you guys are into really awesome visuals, computerized cool visuals, and this one looks awesome on Blu-ray. It's one of those ones you would put in your player and just go, holy crap, that looks awesome. But it did look very, very good on Blu-ray. There's a handful of special features on here, six behind-the-scenes featurettes and stuff, commentaries, outtakes, all the good stuff you expect to get on Blu-rays. But yeah, man, that's Resident Evil Retribution. Next up right here, oh no, is Total Recall, the remake of Total Recall. I'm a fan of the Arnold Schwarzenegger version, Arnold Schwarzenegger one. I just can't, as I was watching this, I just couldn't picture, I don't know why they got Colin Farrell playing Arnold Schwarzenegger's thing. You know what I mean? Because I'm watching this, I'm like, I know people can't look like each other, but it's just kind of like, it didn't have that same feel and awesomeness as the original version with Arnold. It still had its moments. It was visually stunning, just like the Resident Evil ones. And I always like Jessica Biel. She's always cool. It's not a bad movie. It's one of those things, if they changed the name of it and called it something else, everything probably would have been just fine. But them going in, calling it Total Recall, and I don't know, man. I can't say anything bad about it, because I wasn't like, oh, I hate this movie. It was just kind of like, I'm watching it going, I love the original so much. Why? But it is worth a watch if you guys are into science fiction action movies. It was entertaining, but just in the back of my mind, you know, cause I'm an old school dude, just going, really, man? Another one? Another remake, man? But yeah, man, it is out, and Colin Farrell, he's an okay actor. Kate Beckinsale is beautiful, so is Jessica Biel. You get a bunch of actually special features on here, both theatrical and extended versions of the movie, director's commentary, a bunch of cool extras on here, and of course a nice shiny slipcase. Alright guys, and the next two up here are from Lionsgate, and this first one right here is called Branded. This movie's pretty much about brands, and how different brands and like fast food companies like take over the world in a way. And it's all about like marketing and promotion. And this one guy is, I forgot the guy's name now in the movie, but he's really good at marketing. He starts off as a kid. He's this one kid's walking down the street, his number gets called, and he gets zapped by lightning or something. It's kind of weird how it all starts. But then he wakes up, and it's a couple of years later, and he finds out that he's really good at marketing. He's working at this one like local liquor store. And the liquor store is kind of failing, and he kind of helps the liquor store make money by advertising better, like putting a sign up on the front of the store, or like doing something a little differently to help the store make money. And as soon as that store he works for is making money, he asks for a raise, and his boss fires him because the boss thinks he's better than everybody, kind of thing, and he keeps getting fired from different places for helping him out. But yet he finds out that he's really good at marketing and helping places make money by using different signage or using different things. He starts working for this marketing firm, and this big marketing firm is like using him too. And one day he's like at a business lunch or a meeting or whatever, and Lily Sobieski, you guys all know her from the Glass House movie, comes walking up to him as like an old friend, and they strike up a relationship with each other. And she's like, hey, I'm in the business of making a reality show. So she's like, would you like to go 50-50 with me? So he's like, oh, sure. And then he's going to make like a reality show with her, because he's good at marketing and making it popular. But in the meantime, they do this reality show about fat people to try to make them skinny, kind of like The Swan. Like the Swan's like, making an ugly person look better kind of thing. But then it backfires on them. It's all about, this movie's pretty much all about marketing and branding. But the last half of this movie is really kind of like really wacky and out there. Like you can kind of see from the cover, like it turns into like a science fiction kind of thriller thing. And it was like, what? Because like it starts off really, really good, but then it just like takes this weird turn like 45 minutes into the movie. It's just like, huh? It really is worth a rental if you guys are into like marketing and how to make a brand and how brands are taking over the world, like McDonald's kind of thing. But it's worth watching. It's really kind of hard to explain this movie, but it's really worth watching. It's really cool, except for like the last half is still kind of like, huh. But this next one up right here is called Anger Management Season 1. This is the show that Charlie Sheen did right after he got fired from 2.5 Men. And on the first episode, of this. It's pretty, like the first couple seconds of the first episode is like Charlie Sheen going, you know, you're not gonna fire me, I quit, kind of thing. You know, he's like, I'm Charlie Sheen and I'm more, you know, like he was gonna say winning, but it was just kind of funny. In this show, Charlie Sheen plays a therapist to people that have anger management problems, and he has anger management problems of his own. He used to be a baseball player in like the major leagues, and one day like he missed hitting a ball. He went all crazy and broke, you know, tried to break a bat over his knee, but in the process of, you know, doing that, he actually broke his knee and got kicked out of the major leagues. And that's why he's turned into a therapist. And it's just kind of funny knowing all the stuff that's happened to Charlie Sheen over the last, you know, year or two or whatever, and just knowing that he's in another show but playing a therapist. And the show is actually pretty kind of, you know, pretty funny. It stars of course Charlie Sheen and like Shenny Smith, which you guys all know from like Summer School, and she's in the Saw movie. She played Amanda. She plays Charlie Sheen's ex-wife in the show. This is the first season. It has the first 10 episodes of season 1, and season 2 I guess is airing in January on FX. I found this to be really funny. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. The first episode on here also has a little cameo appearance by Darius McCrary. You guys all know that played Eddie Winslow in Family Matters. He's like a prisoner in this, as Charlie Sheen's like is like in a prison, and he's talking to these convicts about, you know, therapy and things like that. It's a really funny show. I highly recommend this one. I dug the hell out of it. And next up right here is from Twilight Time, and it's the Blue Lagoon, the one from 1980. And I'm just gonna give you the quick little synopsis about this movie, because a lot of you guys probably already know this. It's pretty much about these two guys, a guy and a girl. They're on a boat trip with like an uncle or something, and the boat catches on fire, and they get on this lifeboat and get marooned on this island. And it's just them pretty much growing up on this island and kind of falling in love with each other on the island, and what they're going to do and how they're going to live on the island, and how they're not supposed to go on the other side of the island because, you know, that's the law. And that's pretty much the story of the movie. I can't say anything else because it's going to ruin everything else. But they've made 3 of these movies so far. There's this one, Return to the Blue Lagoon, and there's other new one that just came out. But this one right here stars Brooke Shields, and the director of this movie is the same director that made Grease. I guess he made the movie Grease, and then he made this one right afterwards. Just watching this movie, it was really kind of, I don't know, I felt kind of weird watching this one, because there were some scenes like, because Brooke Shields at the time was really kind of young, and I'm like, why am I seeing, like, the people, the guys and the girl in this, they grow up on there. I'm like, why am I seeing little boy private parts and little girl private parts, and why am I seeing Brooke Shields, boobage? It was kind of like, I felt like really kind of uncomfortable. But then I watched the special feature on this, and I guess she had a body double. But just knowing that she was, you know, young and these kids were young, it just felt kind of like strange. But it did look fantastic on Blu-ray, and the story was cool. It was one of those ones I've seen when I was younger, and I really enjoyed. But Twilight Time did a good job on the transfer. You can buy this exclusively from them, from the ScreenArchives.com website. This one's only limited to 5,000. I really do highly suggest this if you guys are into like tropical love stories. You know, people that get marooned on an island and they grow up, and you know, there's, you know what I mean, like finding out what life is, and how, you know what I mean. It's really kind of interesting, and I really did like it. And I believe Mila Jovovich, I can't even say her name right, the lady from Resident Evil, is in part 2 of this. But that's the Blue Lagoon on Blu-ray. Alright guys, and the next one up is from Paramount Pictures, and that is Season 2 of Star Trek The Next Generation, finally on Blu-ray. Paramount's been putting this out, they're putting them out more recently now, it seems. And I've always been a fan of the show, not like a super fan, just like a casual Star Trek fan. This Blu-ray right here has the first ever extended Star Trek episode, The Measure of a Man, in HD and in hypervision. And it also has this cool special feature on here called the Star Trek Cast Reunion, or whatever it is, where a handful of the cast members get together and sit on these couches and like they filmed them talking about different experiences they had making the show, and watching stuff like that is the thing I like the most about these things, like getting like LeVar Burton and, you know, these different cast members around talking about the show. It's just really, really cool. It has another making of on here, two-part documentary, audio commentaries, deleted scenes, and this is the season where Whoopi Goldberg stars in, or, you know, she's in a handful of episodes in. I've always been a fan of Whoopi Goldberg for a long time. I even have her Back to Broadway show back in 1985, and then she did it again, and what was it, 2000 something? I can't remember, but I've always been a fan of Whoopi Goldberg and Theodore Rex and things. But this is the season Whoopi Goldberg stars in. I don't know, man. It's just a really fun science fiction show. I always, you know, remember watching handfuls of episodes with my parents back in the day. But, you know, I mean, not really paying attention, just going, this is cool, you know. But, yeah, season 2 is now on Blu-ray. I think the transfers look pretty good. I know they updated some effects like George Lucas kind of did. But hey, you know what? It's Star Trek and it's on Blu-ray, man. Come on. This next 3 up are from Magnolia, and this next one up is 360, starring Anthony Hopkins, Jude Law, Rachel Weisz, and Ben Foster. This movie is it's just really simple. It's a really simple movie, but it goes all over the place. It's how one person's decision to do something triggers and how it affects other people's lives. That's the best way I can explain this movie. Like, you know, one person does something, and that trickles down on how it affects other people, even in other states. And I just found that to be a very, very interesting and cool concept for a movie. That's pretty much all you can really say about this movie without ruining anything. I actually loved the concept. It just felt like it could have been tightened up just a little bit more in like the center parts. And like certain things that you think were going to happen didn't happen. But it also has a making of on here, behind the scenes. Very well acted, looked very nice on Blu-ray. I would recommend this one to go out there and rent this. It's really interesting. It's really hard to explain that without like trying to, you know, ruin it. That's pretty much all you can really say about it in a review, you know. All right, guys, and the next one up is 2 Days in New York. This one stars Julie Delphi. Hopefully I say her name right, and Chris Rock. This is a follow-up to the movie they made. Julie made 2 Days in Paris. But in this one, she has a husband played by Chris Rock, and they both have, you know, different kids from different different people. And Julie is a French woman. Her family's coming over from France to visit for 2 days, and the movie's pretty much their experience. Having the crazy sister, the crazy father, and the sister's boyfriend coming over to visit, and the kind of crazy stuff that they experience there. Like the crazy boyfriend and the sister go out and like smoke weed in the balcony, and he's like buying drugs at the front door while Chris Rock's kids are viewing this happening. Like, what is he buying? Oh, he's just buying grass from Central Park, kind of thing. And you see that brought up later on in the film. How the kids, how they see that, and it's just pretty much their experiences from that. I have never seen the original 2 Days in Paris, so I can't really say, you know, any differences and stuff, because I've never seen it before. But I found this to be really lovely, really light and comical. But it's just watching Chris Rock. I was just waiting for him to go like, "Oh, come on, man," you know, like do his all Chris Rock thing. But he didn't. He kind of played his character kind of like subdued a little bit, and I kind of liked that. It was kind of like a cool, different Chris Rock. You know, you're not used to really seeing, and I really enjoyed it from him. This Blu-ray right here has Sundance interviews, a look at the 2 Days in New York, and the theatrical trailer, interviews with Chris Rock and Julie. It's actually a really nice movie. I probably need to go see the original 2 Days in Paris movie. I really liked it. It was a nice, charming little movie. And this next one up right here is another one from Magnolia called The Good Doctor. And this one stars Orlando Bloom, and he plays this doctor, like a newer doctor to this hospital. And he can become. The story's pretty much him becoming infatuated with this one patient, and he doesn't want her to go. and she's sort of getting better. I forgot what she was in there for, but she's starting to get better, and then the family members of this one girl invite the doctor to come over for dinner one night. This is pretty much about a doctor that gets infatuated with a patient, and he'll do anything to get her back. You know what I mean? It sounds like a creepy horror movie, but it's not. It's done in like an artful kind of way. It's creepy, but it's not like, you know, horror movie status. And of course, there's this orderly that sees different things that are going on and like has this thing, and he's like Orlando Bloom catches one of the orderlies like having sex in the supply area, and I don't know, man. It was just a really interesting, well done movie. If you guys are into like art house kind of movies, this one's really cool, and the concept of it, like I just told you, is I don't know. I liked it. I really did enjoy this one, The Good Doctor. This next one up right here is from a Docorama, and it's a documentary. It's called How to Live Forever, and this documentary like follows different people that are in their hundreds or 90s and 115, and how some of them, like this guy on the cover here, he's like 105 or something like that, and he's running a marathon, and he has a job. He washes cars, he smokes, he drinks every day of his life, yet he's like doing marathon things, and how just because you're old doesn't mean you're out of the game. You can still do what you know, if you have the will to, you can still do it. They have even interview in here with Jack LaLanne, like the famous, you know, fitness guy. He's in here. I believe he passed away. You get Phyllis Diller interview in there. Just really cool stuff, like how just it's all in your mind sometimes, you know, like how you live forever. And you don't actually live forever, but you know what I mean. They just follow around really old people and what they're doing now, you know, like being 115 and you know, still be kind of with it, like being interviewed, and people are talking to you, and you're like, yeah, you understand that, yeah. Oh, what's your favorite movie? Oh, yeah, it's The Goonies, you know, kind of thing. But I don't know, this guy really kind of reminds me of my dad in a way. You know, like his eyes and some of his like facial expressions when he was doing things, they're like this feels like my dad in a way. But that's How to Live Forever. If you guys want to watch a documentary just about getting older and not necessarily just gonna, you know, lose it, you know what I mean? Not just all gonna like, you know, need a diaper or anything, you know. But this was actually really entertaining. If you see this anywhere, a high rental on this one. How to Live Forever. What a nice documentary, man. These next up right here are from Comedy Central, and I got Tosh.0 V's and Tosh.0 cardigans and casual jackets. I believe this is season 2 and this is season 3. You guys all know Tosh.0. It's kind of like Ray William Johnson on YouTube, and how he gets like you know, internet clips and commentates over them, and I think he's pretty damn funny. Yeah, and this one right here, guys, is a Walmart exclusive. I don't know, man. These things are always really funny. If you guys see them out there, I highly suggest them. You can always, I believe you can go to ComedyCentral.com or whatever it is and view some of these episodes for free on there. But yeah, man, Tosh.0. I don't know. I get a kick out of it. They're funny. This other one right here is Gabriel Iglesias Stand-Up Revolution Season 2. If you guys are into stand-up comedy, this is really good. Of course, it's pretty much Gabriel Iglesias. He comes out and he introduces different, you know, he does like 2 minutes on the beginning of each episode, and then he introduces other comics, like two or three other comics in each episode. And when it comes to compilations of stand-up people, it's always kind of like hit or miss. Like some people are really funny, some people are a little less funny than others. But I found myself enjoying this about 70% of the time. The other times I was like, that person is not really that funny. But Gabriel Iglesias is awesome. You know, they have a little thing on here. You know, he did another music video about him being Fluffy. You know, like there's another song called Fluffy or whatever it was called. And Ray William Johnson from YouTube has a little quick cameo in this season here. And if you guys are into stand-up comedy, it's worth watching because a lot of it is funny. Just to me, some of the comics seem kind of like off their game or something. But that's Gabriel Iglesias Stand-Up Revolution Season 2, baby. Alright guys, and the next one up right here is from Synapse Films, and that's the complete series of Chiller. This aired in the UK back in like 1995. It only ran for about 5 episodes. It's a horror anthology show, so each episode's little, you know, is different than the other. And the one that stood out to me was actually the first episode, where a group of people or like sitting around, a group of friends are sitting around a table like conjuring up a spirit, and then it, you know, you don't see anything happen, but then over a course of a period of time, a couple of them start dying off, and this one girl, it follows this one lady for the most part, and all these people are dying off. She's like, what's going on here? And you're like, is she gonna be next, kind of thing, kind of like in kind of sort of like what's it called, Final Destination in a way, kind of thing. But that was creepy. There's another one on here with a baby. It was like, ooh, you know, kind of creepy things. But if you guys like Tales from the Crypt and Creepshow, this will be right up your alley. It's only 5 episodes, and it's about 265 minutes long, from 1995. I found this to be really cool. Like, something different than the normal stuff that I usually watch, and I liked it. It was cool. If you guys see it out there for a decent price, I suggest checking this one out. And next up right here are 2 movies from Troma, and that is The Toxic Avenger, the Japanese cut. This version of the movie is 10 minutes longer than the US version. I don't want to tell you what the difference is in there, because I want you to go out there and get it if you guys are fans of The Toxic Avenger or Troma, for that matter. But I popped it in because I've seen the movie a whole bunch of times, and popping in it again after a year or two, I was just like, man, I love this movie still. You know, this is one of the movies I'm still going, why hasn't Troma put this one out on Blu-ray? They put it out in like a 2-disc special edition, and they put out, you know, DVD-wise, but they put out like Romeo and Juliet, Class of Nukem High, Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. They put those out on Blu-ray, but why wouldn't they put one of their best movies they have in their catalog on Blu-ray first? Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead is one of my favorites, and then there's, you know, there's this and then that. But this is the Japanese cut, and you get a new intro in here with Lloyd. Not new, but it's like an older one. With Lloyd and Michael Hers talking about the movie. It's really funny. If you guys are into The Toxic Avenger, this is the extended Japanese cut, so 10 minutes longer than the original version. Really cool. I always love Troma. I like just supporting independence, because I know Lloyd does. And ever since Lloyd Kaufman was, you know, said yes to be in 2 of my short films, it was like the coolest experience of my life. You know, just to have him be a part of something that I've done. I even interviewed him once or twice on my YouTube channel here. You guys can search up Lloyd Kaufman or Troma, you'll see it. And this next one up right here, I wanted to see because my homeboy Sean C. Phillips and the Unmentionable One is in it, and that is Mr. Bricks, the heavy metal murder musical. Yeah, it was actually kind of cool, you know, a little different than the average movie that you would see. It's a musical, and there's murder and there's mystery. It's like, huh, you know, it kind of felt like a hard rock music video, kind of like war, like the whole thing's like a music video. Yet there's murder involved, and Sean and the Unmentionable One happened to pop in there along with Lloyd Kaufman. I don't want to get in there and explain it because there's not a whole super lot of plot going on, but it was a fun watch. There's actually a lot of special features on here. Behind the scenes documentary, which is about like 40 to 50 minutes long. You also get bloopers and outtakes. And if you go into this DVD, there's a Sean C. Phillips, I believe like a blooper reel or something on there I was watching. This DVD is packed. If you guys are fans of Sean and the Unmentionable One, I would check this one out, just to show your support for Troma and for Sean. This was cool, man. Mr. Bricks. And the last thing up right here is from Mill Creek, and that is the double feature pack of the Crew and Mafia. Mafia is actually a spoof movie that they made, spoofing like you know, mobster movies, you know, like Casino or Godfather kind of thing. I always kind of liked that, starring Christina Applegate. And the Crew is the one I like the most on this set. This one stars Dan Hedaya. What's his name again? Yeah, Dan Hedaya, Richard Dreyfuss, and Burt Reynolds. And it's pretty much these old ex-mobster guys. You know, they used to, you know, be heavy in the mobsters and like wise guys. But now they're old. They're older now. And they're like, what are they doing? They're sitting outside of Miami, like, you know, outside of their little apartment, just hanging out looking at, you know, girls in bikinis walking by. And, you know, it's just them and how they kind of get back into the groove of things a little bit. But it's really, really funny. Burt Reynolds and all these guys are just super funny in the movie. If you guys see this one out there for a good price, check this out, especially for the Crew, because the Crew is just awesome, man. It's one of those just, you know, sit down and relax, you know, throw your mind out at the door. Same thing with Mafia. and just go, this is pure entertainment right here. But yeah, guys, that's my DVD Blu-ray update for today, and I'll see you guys all for my next one. Thank you guys all for watching. Peace.